Hey everybody, it's Jen. And I wanted to toss something at you that I was considering today because it's a problem that I used to have, which is, do you ever find that you attempt to initiate change in the office and it seems like everyone sort of gets behind you in your excitement and this new idea that you have, but if you jump ahead a few weeks to a few months, it's really just back to being exactly what it was before and no change actually happened. I think this is a common issue amongst dental teams because sometimes, depending on the dentist in your practice, very easy to get me excited about anything brand new that might make life easier, more enjoyable, faster, more profitable, any of those things. I get excited, especially if I go to a conference or something CE related and I get all worked up about it. And what used to happen in the office all the time, so I would get excited and I'd come back and I would tell everybody all about it. And everyone would be like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, awesome idea. And we would begin the change or the implementation and then it would sort of fall apart. And it felt like I wasn't sure how that happened. And then we just ended up pretty much back to where we started. So no actual substantial change came from that. And that was 100% my fault because I trained my team very quickly that I would get excited about things, but I never held anybody accountable to making the change that I was asking for. So they could always get away with going back to whatever they wanted to be doing or whatever they thought was easiest. So no one was ever forced to do the hard work to make change because I didn't actually make anybody follow through in the change, because what happened to me regularly and still does is I jump from shiny object to shiny object. And what would happen is I'd get excited about one thing and be like, okay, we're going to change this. And then something else would catch my eye and I would move on to changing that. And the other item got left behind. Let me know if this maybe could describe you at times. And there are a few things going on there. Let's identify what I think is the biggest one. When I decided that the changes I was trying to make were actually critically important to the success of the practice, I had to approach bringing change to the team in an entirely different way so that they understood that we did not just speak about changes, we actually were going to do the changes and make the changes. And that ultimately comes down to holding people accountable for change and regularly reviewing the changes that were proposed to make sure that they're happening. And so the process I now go through if we're going to change something in the office is we introduce it to the team or whoever it's applicable to, usually in a team meeting type setting where it's not just in the middle of the day where I'm throwing something at someone, to go through exactly why we're making the change, what the whys behind it are, how we measure success of that change, how often we're going to check back on that change, who's in charge of making that change. And then we move forward after that meeting. Changes are then also mentioned at morning huddles. They're spoken about when things come up related to it. And then follow through and follow up happens every single time until the change has been made and we've decided it was worthwhile and we keep it, or we tried something and it failed and we're going to drop it. But it is now done actively instead of passively, which was what I was hoping would happen before. I think I would mention it and everyone would be excited and I'm like, great, they're going to do it. And off we go. And so nothing actually stuck because they knew that if they sort of didn't do it or they didn't do it, I probably either wouldn't notice or wouldn't say anything about it. So if you want to make any sort of changes in your office, especially if you've been like me and you've jumped from thing to thing or you get excited about things easily, the first thing you have to do is actually teach the team that you mean it. And so you want to pick one item and follow through from start to finish to show them that you actually mean that you want this change to happen. And once you've established that, then they will know the system that happens every time change is coming in. Every time there's a new process, a new procedure, a new item, a new person, a new anything, there is a system in place and they know you will follow through on it. Otherwise, they'll probably be like my team was, which is, oh, let her get excited and then do it however you want because she's not going to do anything about it anyway. I hope that makes you think about how you're introducing change in your office and maybe helps you out with the next thing you're going to try. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.